friends, and why it's the clarion call of the trumpets calling you to the Champion Forge, the newly renamed Champion Design Workshop. My name is Counterfeit, joined by Exodus and Happy Lightsense, and we're here to try and teach you and ourselves how to design a League of Legends champion by trial and error. Exodus, it's been a while since our first season. How many champions have you designed since then in your mind?
Okay, I'm gonna be completely sure. A lot, but I keep forgetting. I have loads of great ideas and just keep forgetting all of them.
Oh, no.
I also don't remember how many champions I was actually involved in. Luckily, Happy has the memory of a fucking elephant. Because sometimes she names these champions like, who? You said you design it, okay? And what does he do? He does this. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, it's good work for champion.
Yeah, I mean, you made it, so it's gotta be a good idea, right?
Okay, what do you need, Happy? What do you need from me? Okay, what's the deal?
All right, let's move on.
Happy.
Let's move on. This is obviously a sensitive subject. So, to the person with the best memory around, Javi, how have things been for you? Well, since our last streamer for the Benelux Charity Showdown.
It hasn't been that long, so I don't know. I've just been thinking about champions and designing, and you know, the usual.
All right. So, guys, we hope that you find Happy's smiley face enough of a welcome, because we're gonna destroy it. Destroy it. Yes.
No.
Oh no, I got rid of the other thing as well. Let's use the eraser. There you go. So, guys, what have we got on the menu for today?
I'll start then. We have got a mage jungler, which is notoriously hard to create potently or very well. And I'm not going to move into lore perspective because that's more Happy's thing. But we've got a mage jungler who has kind of a ethereal team. That's something we want to create today.
Yes. So on Monday on the charity stream, we tried our hands at a spirit, but it kind of got out of hand in a way that it wasn't a spirit anymore at the end. It was more of like
a mermaid.
A mermaid. It was a mermaid. Okay, we designed a mermaid. So we want to try this again. And yeah, it's gonna be a spirit, potentially from Frigaard. That sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Just a second. I'm just going to try and restart the stream. Sorry about this. Sorry about that, guys. It looks like the stream delay from earlier on caught up and then knocked us all offline. Okay. Should be back up and work again.
Let's not do an intro again, guys. Okay, so let's not do an intro again.
Okay. So
Another one.
So Happy, to start us off with, I know we're gonna bang through the intro stuff. Sorry, the lore stuff a little bit quicker than we did in our previous stream. But for I guess the two things which I feel like we need to establish coming into this is, firstly, in our previous one, what about our champion didn't kind of fulfill the spirit part of things? Why didn't it feel like a spirit to you?
It was very physical. And I feel like it didn't have this, like, the sort of supernatural connection to magic. It was more like, you know how Vastaya creatures, they have a more natural connection to magic, as if they were born through magic, sort of. But that's not what a spirit is. It's more like, spirits are more like, I don't know, somebody died a violent death and now you have the spirit of vengeance. Or the aspects from Targon. They were created from, like, godlike celestial beings, and now they roam around and do crazy things with their cool powers. But, like, their powers didn't come naturally to them, but they were bestowed upon them by something greater.
Okay, so it sounds like the idea of being tied to a concept is important from where you're sitting in terms of having it be a sort of spirit of something.
Yeah, I think that might be a key feature for Spirit.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I like that idea.
Exodus, was there anything that jumped out at you in terms of, like, if you're... Well, I suppose this is a good chance as any to kind of to go through quickly, what kind of champions which already exist in League of Legends do you feel like adhere to this idea most closely?
I do like Callista most of all, if you say Spirit, because I have to kind of agree with what Happy said. So a Spirit has to be connected to something, and that pulls a little bit away from Geek mythology, where you had all sorts of spirits. Well, the definition sometimes between spirit and god isn't all that clear. For example, you have god of a river. So in Greek mythology or Roman mythology, you had river gods, or like, oh yeah, but you had a certain so a certain forest had a certain god or whatever. I think you can, if you replace the name god with spirit, you're kind of closer to what we're trying to make, where it's tied into something, either a concept or either something material.
Yeah, either like a concept or a very specific thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think-
like Japanese style sort of spirit of a river, spirit of a mountain kind of idea.
Yeah, sure. I think you can have that. Yeah, like in is it Shinto? I think in Shinto religion, the spirits they have there is also, I think that's very well defined, or this what a spirit actually is.
Oh, hey, Vinny. Welcome to the stream. So for anything we're discussing, guys, please do pitch in. If you've got any ideas, we'll certainly discuss them. Users, thank you for lurking in the stream as well. We'll try and keep as much of our discussion written down on the screen so you can follow along at least somewhat. So so based on what we said already, it sounds like we're moving somewhere towards a title of Spirit of Freljord.
Maybe
guess.
Spirit of Freliord is a bit much.
It's very on the nose, certainly.
It's just it would be very, very powerful and very large, I suppose, if it's a spirit of an entire
What
part
if we have
of Runeterra.
a spirit of battle, like almost a war goddess, but she's the spirit of? I don't know. That's maybe very, very broad.
That's very Pantheon.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. That's very pantheon. Yeah.
In terms of the physical size thing, I don't think that's ever really held them back from making champions before.
No, for sure not.
I'm thinking here. So we can have a. Okay, I think we kind of need to set rules. We either have a spirit of something physical, or we need to have the spirit of a concept. Right?
Are there any good Freljordian locations that would work? If we're going to go a little bit less over the top than the entirety of Freljord.
Quickly look it up.
So
If any of you guys in the chat are also au fait with League of Legends, or you can tell a convincing lie, which we might buy, then that's probably good enough.
I think it could be something like the spirit of the cold or the spirit of frost or something.
Okay. Well, let's not get too hung up on that. That seems fine as an idea. So, okay. So we've got... I guess we can kind of... So we've got Callista as a reference to spirity kind of champions.
Yes, Benivia is also a spirit, by the way. I just looked her up.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, how weird.
Like, she's classified as a spirit. So, I suppose demigods also count as spirits.
Yeah, okay.
And that would make Ornn a spirit as well, and Volibear.
That's very broad.
Yes, but that also means that the funky mermaid from Monday might just as well be a spirit.
I mean, I don't want to say, but it's League of Legends lore. Some things are great, some things are season 2-ish.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so it sounds like if we go down that road, we're kind of in danger of making it so broad as to basically become meaningless in terms of...
I would really say if you make a spirit, to make a spirit of, she needs to have something. So if it's a concept, that means we can really tie it into the end product a lot better than if we say a region. However, if we say a region, we can visually give her some sort of idea that say, okay, that looks really cool. And since we're doing a Freljord champion, I think doing like a Freljord-ish region would be very cool. Like it's almost both at that point.
We do need if we're going to do a particular place, we do need a particular place. Though I suppose we could just call it a spirit of, even though I still can't spell it. the spirit of Freljord, and then replace it later on with a specific place.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to look up if there are any specific places of Freljord.
Could that be the secret, the spirit of Freljordl? That actually... Happy, you're unprofessional shutting down my ideas, Dewey.
This can be the case.
Alright.
No, please. Please don't.
Alright, so now I've ruined it forever.
Yes.
So what kind of concepts do you guys, come to mind when we're talking? So if we're talking, we've got a lot of crossover already with the pre-existing Frost champions, Cold champions, which is quite hard. It's going to be quite hard to find stuff that hasn't been done already. Like a big part of the pre-existing champions is locking people in place. So Frozen Tomb, Glacial Prison,
Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
Yeah, they seem to all be about that kind of thing. Is that an angle which we want to try and find another way to approach, or do we want to try and find some other way of expressing Cold and Frost?
I think we could stick to it, but also, if we consider Ornn and Volibear in this sort of situation, Volibear is like thunderstorms and electricity, I suppose. And Ornn is fire and like forging.
Yep, the
So
powers of the forge.
We got some more inspiration in that regard, and I think it might be. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say.
So we have a little bit more leeway, I think, is what you're trying to say, right? Where we can,
I guess,
have
yeah.
some. It doesn't matter if we go a little bit, if you reach out to further concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our base concept is crowd control. That's certainly the most obvious way to go for it. Do you guys have any other kinds of expressions of Frost in terms of things you've seen in media, or like, stories, poems, paintings, or anything? Anything that you can think of which expresses something just different that we can maybe draw on conceptually?
Well, I'm thinking of like something you can organically associate with ice. So you can also make actually what you can maybe do is that you can say ice is she wants to preserve things, because we haven't said if it's a he or a she, but they or whatever, like it wants to preserve things. So you can kind of maybe that's something that can actually fit into the kit because it fits with crowd control. So it's I think if you want to, I'm trespassing on Happy's territory here, but you can kind of say that there was once this like place in Freljord, and to kind of it was gonna be destroyed by a cataclysmic event or by something man-made, and to preserve it, she kind of turned it all into one ice block, which is maybe a bit overboard.
Okay.
Or she
I like that.
Yeah, or she maybe not even turn into an ice block, but maybe like placed a huge region of ice around it to prevent it.
Okay, if we're going that route, we could make it the spirit of the Frostguard Citadel, which is a place where Lysandra locked all the Watchers. And like the Watchers are kind of evil bad boy creatures that have some sort of connection to the void, I believe. And Lysandra locked them into the Howling Abyss.
Oh, okay. So I'm quickly reading up. This is basically lore. I'm an extraordinarily Dark Souls fan, and this is 100% stolen from Dark Souls, or extremely very.
I mean, it's a good place to steal from.
Yeah, it's a good place to steal from, but it's very similar, so I kind of like it. So apparently there is like a sort of gateway, sort of rupture to the abyss in Freljord, and it corrupted certain stuff.
Yes, it
Mhm.
corrupted Lysandra first. Then
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, those people,
Mhm.
those Watchers, as they called themselves,
Yeah.
they can help us become
Yeah.
a very strong nation, all that." And then after they almost like got out into the world, she realized that she made a mistake.
That's
then-
literally the story of the Abyss Watchers in Dark Souls 3. But I like it. That's important.
Gosh.
Yeah. So we could like the spirit of the Frostguard Citadel could be some sort of I don't know, a spirit watcher person
Mhm.
from Frigaard that's trying to protect the Frostguard Citadel and helps to keep the Watchers at bay. But because they're in contact with those like I don't know, evil powers so much, they're partially corrupted or like maybe super confused, and sometimes they can't really control themselves.
Well, I
Mhm.
like the idea of them taking on some sort of aspect of the corruption. That's immediately a more compelling idea straight away. What about, so it sounds like where we maybe would be leading with this was rather than using ice to crowd control opponents, that you do something. Are we talking something like maybe doing like mini frozen tombs on people?
Mm,
What would they do?
Like if we're talking about sort of the preservation of people using ice, then the idea that came to mind would be like really, really sort of micro frozen tombs that would be ways to give someone like basically effectively giving people stasis,
yeah.
but locking them in place while doing it.
Yeah, and if you're talking crowd control, you can also kind of let her. That is, it's maybe a bit too close to what a Nivea is, but let her make sort of blocks of ice somewhere. But you already have two champions who have a frozen pillar and the ice wall, so I don't know.
If we can do something interesting with it, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, what kind of champion are we talking about here? We wanted to make a mage.
Hmm.
Are we still thinking about making her a jungler?
Yes.
Because I feel like the way we're developing her in our minds right now, it sounds more like a support.
I think the only thing that sounds like a support is the CCing allies. I think besides that, she can still be very much made a jungler.
But like a supportive jungler, maybe?
Sure, I
like
mean, Ivern exists, so why shouldn't could other? And there are some other supportive jungler as well, where you can say, okay, they're just not as popular.
So maybe, yeah. So I think you could still work the whole idea if they are freezing. Maybe if they can just freeze allies or enemies, but just the effect of the freezing applies to, like, it has a ally utility, whereas a lot of the other ones don't have an ally utility.
I'm thinking, I don't want to do yet another champion that has dual kit. But if you can say like the only disability has, you can either use it on. Oh no, you can actually, yeah, no, you can either use it on an ally to heal them, or you can use it on an enemy to slow them. I think it is. I mean, a lot of league champions have something like along those lines, where if you use it on a, like Lulu has something. Help me, please.
Okay, no, that's fine. Let's not get too hung up on worrying about the specifics. But that sounds like a good idea.
I also feel like we could do something with ice on the ground, where it's like a speed boost, or like maybe a speed boost for allies, and then I don't know, a kind of slow for enemies.
Yeah,
So it's
no, I
like
like that.
it's like slippery ice for allies, and it's like, I don't know, really deep, fresh snow for enemies, where they just get stuck in the
Oh,
pieces.
you know, if you wanna see this visually, what you can actually do is you can So have you ever seen whatchamacallit, like The Incredibles, the frosty guy there? What's his name?
Oh,
again?
Frozone, yeah.
Yeah, Frozen. So whatever will do is say like quickly cast an area on the ground. If you're in the cast zone, you're damaged. If you remain in that zone as an enemy, you're slowed. If you are in that zone as an ally, you're sped up. Because that's kind of what Frozen does, right? He can freeze you, but can also give you a speed boost where you're sliding over the edge. I think that's a cool idea.
I think he's the only one who slides over the edge. because
Yeah,
he
but
was the
you
one
know,
who died.
technical details.
Okay. I mean, I think the idea is decent. We are getting, we're definitely very fond of areas that speed up and slow down people. But I think the idea makes sense.
Well, it doesn't need to. No, the thing is, it doesn't need to be big. So I'm literally talking about a small thin line. Like, let's say the thickness of this is an orn, which is
An orange cube.
Yeah, or like
Or like a really thin line.
or a really thin line. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, something doesn't need to be that big.
But
And
it could be a spammable ability, so that the person can go through the jungle quicker.
Yeah, you can give it like an ammo system, which is
How?
so if you give it like sorry?
How?
No, for example, like a rumble rocket. A rumble-
Yeah, but like, how do you make ice and snow into like bullets or whatever?
No. I don't mean bullets. With an ammo system, I mean where it charges up, where you can have multiple. But
Yeah, it's kind of like a you can spam the ability, but it's kind of got a cooldown. Like you've got so many charges of it before you have to wait for it to recharge.
so your cooldown is constantly refreshing your charge up until a max. That's what I mean with ammo system. It's not like he's got ice bullets, which is an hero for another time.
Oh, or it could be kind of like Bard's W, where you can only put 3 shrines down, and then if you use it again, then it like 1 shrine disappears. So you can only put at max, I don't know, 5 of those little speedy thingies down, and then if you want to use it again, it consumes the last one you did. So you can, I don't know,
Okay, no, I like
only
that. Yeah.
charge through the map like Rek'Sai can with her tunnels.
Okay.
It has to be either one of the two, but I like that one. Yeah.
Ammo or max amount on the map, or both.
Yeah, no, I
Well.
like it.
Sounds good to me. Okay, so we've got the idea. So we're stealing the frozen tomb from Lysandra. We're stealing the frozen domain from Trundle. Who can we steal from for the E?
Well, yes and no, because Trundle's frozen domain is this is kind of like a skill shot almost, where you can make it like a rumble ultimate where you have to draw the line, and because it's a very thin line, there's a certain level of skill involvement.
Oh, okay. I
so
thought you were still talking about the frozen domain. I was like, how's that a skill shot?
No.
Tell me.
With this, if you, for example, if there is a very particular escape path and you draw it correctly, then because a rumble ultimate is hard to use quickly. That's why a lot of pros even don't use it on quick cast. But if you become if you have a lot of prowess with the champ, you can make sure. Okay, actually, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna put 2 zones to deny escape and put 1 zone quickly to make sure my allies get quicker. But that's very difficult to do. So I think that's something you can make into a champion.
Okay.
So
Well, let's keep moving. So, any other ideas for you guys in terms of what other kinds of abilities that they can have? Because currently we don't have anything that kind of ties to them being a spirit specifically, apart from at the moment it seems like they're a frost elemental. Oh gosh, I love the drawing.
Ooh. Yeah, I like. Well, this screams female to me. Happy, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna call her she.
That's okay. And they can have some sort of like little rune crystal, or like just a I don't know, crystallized energy within them that's like bopping around just to have a nice visual.
All right, wait. Let's not get too sidetracked with the drawing. We need to design a champion.
You can do the like some more abilities, and I keep drawing her.
Okay, cool.
All right. So we need at least one thing here that's going to tie to it being a spirit in some way. And so far, in terms of, I don't think we've got an enormous amount of ideas coming into this as to what really constitutes a spirit-like ability, apart from, canes walking through walls.
True. We had a little bit of a discussion. Are we still going through with the passive we discussed before, with the shopkeep? I don't know if it fits anymore. That's the problem.
No, I don't think it does.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would fit more if it was a support. So maybe we can keep that in mind for a future support.
Yeah, I like
But
it.
I don't think we need to talk about
So,
it.
so for the audience, the idea we had before was, what if, because it's a spirit, what if something happens when she dies? An idea I had was, what if she kind of acts like a shopkeep? So if you're near her, you can actually access the shop and buy something without going back, because it's powerful. It's not super powerful, but it's powerful, and it also means that because she dies, it's good that it's powerful. The biggest advantage is in lane. If you die, you can have, for example, if you're a support, you can buy something. But it's not something we're going to discuss very much here, because we're probably not going to use it on her right now.
Well, we did have a further discussion as part of that same idea, which is that the idea of having someone, because there's only the 2 on death passives at the moment in terms of Cogmore and Carthus.
Because Scion.
Oh, of course, Scion as well.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the idea of having it be... I mean, this isn't really tied to the Frostguard Citadel idea so well, but the idea of having it be that she's got an alternate form that only activates when she's dead. Like a kind of a Yumi effect, that if you visit the grave, like the death site, she can attach onto someone and haunt them for the period that they're dead, and maybe choose to respawn when they want to. Like in terms of after the regular death timer is done.
Oh yeah, so you can be dead for the whole game effectively, making your team play 4v5, but like one person is haunted, and we could make it so that if you're haunted, she has the option to, I don't know, empower you in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
That could be really broken too. But like, you have to make a conscious decision if you want to give up your position as a jungler and potentially make it harder for your team to take objectives like Baron and Dragon.
So this is a very, very powerful effect, and it needs to have a cutoff, like a payoff. I mean, what if the payoff is that it lengthens her death timer?
Yeah, I had that thought as well. That maybe when she chooses, maybe when she kind of like releases, that her death timer actually starts from there.
Yeah, that's something I like, because it's okay if it's a really powerful effect. Because, for example, if you attach onto her for 20 seconds, it means your death timer is 20 seconds longer, which is extremely detrimental to your gameplay, especially if you're a jungler in your early game.
That's a lot, but that's also pretty cool. So you could just ditch your jungle early game and chill with like somebody who needs a lot of early game attention. Like,
okay, so because the payoff, the cost here is, I think it's one of the highest costs you can have in a game. I'm thinking of something else according to abilities. So you can make this passive very powerful. You don't need to be shy to make it extremely strong.
I think something we do need to watch out for, though, is we don't end up designing an alternate spirit kit, because we tend to do two kits on every champion we're doing, just because we don't kind of...
No. Don't design an alternate spirit kit. So don't change your abilities, but there's something... So she haunts an ally or an enemy champion?
An ally, but it's like
ally.
positive haunting.
Okay. So, okay, I'm thinking, what if... What if she just, like, she haunts an ally, but she can still create... It fits coincidentally perfectly with her W, because you can speed up someone. So she attaches to someone, but she can still cast her W. And she speeds up, and she slows someone in the main process.
Sorry, say again, I was messing around with the eraser, because there's some
so
function of this I don't understand.
If she attaches onto someone, she can still speed up her W. This is coincidentally quite brilliant, because her W is very difficult to cast, but you don't have to focus as much anymore because you're not moving anymore. So it lowers the difficulty of it. You're making me give anxiety here, Peter, with all the shuffling around.
Sorry, I'm trying to get. I don't know what's going on with this.
Okay. So she can still cast her W, but she can't cast all her abilities anymore.
Okay, so like, I think
that's fair, because if we let her cast the Q, that would be really stupid. That would be like Yumi all over again.
That's too powerful. Because the thing is, I really no, I like it. And there's something I think I'm gonna kind of jump in here again. There's something we haven't really discussed. Why is she a jungler? Because we kind of want to make her solely a jungler, but she needs something that really fits well into jungle. It has a W as well, but it's a damaging ability for jungle creeps maybe.
Well,
so her Q maybe deals more damage to monsters. And then it's like % health damage. I don't know how junglers work.
this is the big limitation that we have as completely amateur game designers here, is that I think all of our understanding of like why things are done in a certain way in League of Legends, and like what makes a jungler, what makes this and stuff.
No,
is something...
well, I once again I'm kind of sorry. I'm not being the nicest guy this particular episode, guys. Sorry, but I don't think that's true. I think the main reason why it's difficult designing a jungle mage is because you have to look at the payoff between. So if you're using spells should be powerful. So, but if spells are powerful, you put them on a low cooldown. But if you put something on a low cooldown, you have to put them on a high cooldown. If you put something on a high cooldown, you don't have a lot of DPS, which means for jungling you need DPS. That's why most junglers have something new with either auto attacks or have spammable abilities. So that's why Elise works as a jungler, because she has a lot of spammable abilities and none of them are super powerful. So I would almost say that she kind of needs an area of, she needs a DPS ability. That's the thing and you can tweak the numbers by saying exactly we're doing exactly what Happy does, where you give the DPS ability a lot more damage against monsters.
Okay, sorry, I don't know what's going on with the texting there. It's freaking out and eventually disappeared, so I'm just going to start over again. So Death's Sight attaches to allies and has limited abilities. So I guess so if we keep the passive as that idea, then why is it doing that? So, excuse me, that's. So I'm just making sure everything's visible on the stream.
Sorry. What if she? Because I'm looking at the drawing from Happy. Instead of hands, what if she has like sharp edges, like
Nocturne?
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
No, he ties his legs to his arms. It's fine.
Has been done. I was gonna say like Camilla, her legs, but then arms and eyes.
Her legs, but then arms, huh?
Yeah. like knife arms, but it's basically Nocturne. Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. So her E needs to be DPS ability then.
So that's right. Yeah. So the W is the frost line. The Q is the mini frozen tomb. So okay. So what kind of things were you thinking for the E?
I'm not really sure yet. I think what you can kind of make her do is give her, that's also a solution Riot sometimes does, is give her an unhit effect. It is quite spammable in jungle because of its unhit, meaning she can only really use it when she's very close to someone, which once again ties in with her W, which gives her speed buff, and it makes her less viable in lane because, I mean, if you can just walk away or choose not to fight with her. So I'm looking at maybe and you can build Lich Bane on her, because I'm assuming she deals with AP.
Okay, so if we want, so the effect is going to be on hit.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to think of. So it's kind of we're talking about what the ability is going to do for the champion, not what the ability actually does in itself.
Yeah.
So do you guys have anything in the barrel for like something interesting that could be happening with an on hit kind of idea?
Thinking here.
Maybe a heal for herself. So she can use the mini frozen tomb on enemies and allies, but she can't use it on herself. So she needs something to sustain herself in the jungle, and that could be on hit on her E.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. So that could be like just design-wise. That's where this partial corruption could come in. So she uses her E and then corrupts whoever she attacks with it, and then after, I don't know, 4 stacks or something, I roll with the stacks again.
Very original.
It procs the on it effect, and then you get I don't know, partial heal for however many damages you did.
To try and build on that idea, I had the concept that maybe then this may be a complication too far. That if the spirit is getting corrupted as they go, that some kind of purging activity, like a rage bar or something that fills up that does that, like the longer she goes without purging herself, the more
Yeah,
damage she takes.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
that's really good. I like that. I enjoy that.
So what does purging mean in this for game-wise? Because I like it. I really like it, like the purging effect.
I think it could mean that she literally just throws the corruption out of her, so she like freezes the corrupted pieces and then throws them at people.
Okay, yeah, I like
So
it.
it's like her entire body is like this sort of bluish, light blue, frosty color, and then you have the corrupted bits. And
Happy? You're
yes.
a genius. Because that no, I'll tell you why you're a genius. Because this works exceptionally well with junglers. Because you do is if you're the longer you're not damaging an enemy, the more corruption you build. Which means if you're in lane, it really sucks because you constantly want to poke someone. But if you're a jungler and for example, you're farming camps for a long time, or you're farming 2 or 3 camps, you're gonna have a lot of corruption.
Oh, so the corruption makes her stronger, but it also makes her weaker at the same time. So like she takes more damage, but she also deals more damage.
Well, that's not a bad idea. I was thinking more of the lines of she needs to expel the corruption. She needs to maybe even thematically push it into an enemy champion. So she expels it by using the E ability on an enemy champion. Which
But make it more of a laner though, surely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, not really, because.
But why would she want to stay corrupted?
You would want to stay corrupted because the corruption would be, for example, the biggest damage in your kit. So meaning that you can kind of scale up with levels with stacks, because then in the late game she's actually more viable. So it means that if you're constantly lane, you kind of sometimes want to poke people, right? You kind of want to use your abilities on enemy champions. I would even say that if she uses it on a minion, but not on a neutral camp, it also expunges, meaning that she is very, very to almost impossible to play in lane because she constantly wants to use abilities on minions or on enemy champions.
I really like this idea.
It's not completely worked out yet. I mean, there are some gaps there.
Well, sorry, I was a little lost in thought, so I do apologize if I kind of missed some of the stuff you were saying there. What about the idea that she... Because I'm worried we're getting a little bit close to the previous high tide, low tide we used literally just earlier this week. If we have it be that she does more damage but takes more damage. What about the idea that she literally just, like over time, or builds up this corruption, which just, naturally, builds up as you, I think just passively just, builds up. And then maybe when you expel the corruption, the more corruption you have, the more damage over time that you take. And that you have to expel you have to use the skill shot that hits either a champion or a large monster or something for it to then count and get it out of you, which would then be allowing you to sort of to heal by not taking damage.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so you need to. So instead of using it on champions, you need to expel corruption on neutral minions.
Yeah, or champions, or either. I think either.
Yeah.
would
Okay.
work.
No. I like that idea. Yeah. Sure. And the longer you. Okay.
Yeah, the longer you go without expelling your corruption, the more harmful it is to you.
Yeah, maybe the more harmful it is to you, the more damage this ability does. So you can spam it a low corruption to do.
Oh, maybe it's like a grievous wounds kind of effect.
Yeah.
So that if you don't expel your corruption, then you can't heal yourself anymore. Or
I like the idea.
like if your allies try to heal you, it doesn't work.
Yeah, maybe it could be like a threshold thing that over a certain amount of corruption it has different kinds of effects.
Oh yeah. You can even just say it's slowed. Like if someone is, especially if you're a jungler, if you're slowed for 20%, you're almost not able to gank anymore.
Hmm.
Okay, that's a slow, previous wounds. I kind of like, yeah, I think that's a kind of a neat idea. This is
You can also what you can also try and do is because I'm thinking of something that okay, what if you're late game and you're in a base and you want to heal but you're slowed, so you can say okay, if you're recall, then and if only if you recall, not if you've finished base, but if you recall, boom, your corruption is completely gone.
yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I can't spell Grievous, apparently. Okay, so yes, it's a kind of a the corruption bar builds up over time. You can purge it, but on champions or large minions, it resets when you go out to base. You don't end up dying before you get into the lane.
Nice.
Okay.
This would also make her a very. I'm looking at the kit and thinking of gameplay. This makes her a very good jungler to try and steal away camps. To try and invade, because what you do is you have a large corruption bar. As soon as you expel your corruption, if it goes wrong, you have an escape tool, and you slow the jungler in the same time. But you're not powerful enough to fight him anymore because you have no more corruption.
I was thinking that maybe
So-
the corruption, like if the power of the E is tied to how much corruption you have, maybe you can only expel a certain amount at a time. So,
Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah.
So if you come into a fight with a lot of corruption, you've got these debuffs, but you've also got the ability to do a lot of damage repeatedly.
Yep.
Nice. So the longer you last in a team fight, the better.
Yes.
Well,
Which I guess that's normal. You should survive the team fights no matter who you are. That's like the goal.
What were you thinking, Nexus?
I'm thinking, you can, for example, say you have let's call it percentage-wise right now, that an E expels, because this is your spammable ability for jungle camps, and you can say that an E expels 20% of your ability, but it has an ammo system with a... No, we already did an ammo system with W. But it has a system with a very low cooldown, procs a non-hit effect, meaning that you can build a Lich Bane on her. No, I like it. Yep.
Nice. So ultimate ability.
Hurrah!
Woo!
Oh, sorry. So, what does the ability actually do? Like in game, like visually, it's maybe important as well. The E.
You just throw corruption at people. So it's like the second little thingy I drew, where she has these floaty shapes that are like crystals.
Snowballs.
Yeah, it's like maybe snowballs or maybe just glowy crystals with the corruption pieces in it.
Oh, wait. I've thought of a way to make it more jungle focused, and also more gross at the same time. So that's two things at once. How about if she, like sort of the poison ivy thing, or like sort of the plant monster thing, where they'll like extend their arm out like as a tentacle and go like. How about that? How about she does it like her E is a skill shot, which means it's easy to hit in the jungle all the time. But when she does it, it kind of creates a tether between her and the other person and kind of like injects the corruption into the target.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, and my follow, I'm keep turning on this on hit effect, but you can make it when it's like a tether, and it drains the corruption into that person, and if the tether is gone, then it also procs an on hit effect at the end. So then you can make it powerful.
Or you can make it so that you can have multiple tethers at the same time. So
but she has to stay in range to get the.
Yeah.
Maybe so maybe the corruption goes across over time rather than being a once thing. Because that would play into the jungle stuff. Because it's easy to stay in range of the jungle creeps. Maybe you could tether like Gromp and Blue Buff at the same time.
Oh, I like that one though. Yeah.
That could be really good.
Could be really cool.
Like in a team fight, you could, because it's a low cooldown, or like a fairly low cooldown, I suppose. You could like tether the weakest champion first, and then go for all the other people because they are trying to protect their weakest champion. And then, I don't know, maybe you buy Hourglass, and then Stasis in the middle of the team with 3 tethers active, and then they proc one after another, and you get your heal back.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a neat idea.
Okay. So, ultimate ability time? Question mark?
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, I think so far I'm liking most the whole idea of the corruption and purging stuff. That seems like the most unique thing we've managed to come up with so far.
Visually, you can also, because I'm really liking the drawing that Happy made.
So visually, real good.
Yeah, visually you can say that she, not only you have the rage bar, you can actually see the corruption build up in her.
Definitely.
And yeah, definitely. So you have like these what's like the color for the void is purple, right?
Yes.
So you have purple. Kind of, she goes a little bit more purple, or she.
Wait, is she like a lava lamp?
Yeah, sure, sure.
A lava lamp, but like the things inside her,
Evil.
they don't wobble around like the liquid in the lava lamp, but they're more crystalline because she's from Frigaard, and like everything's frozen there, just to keep with the thematic of Frigaard.
Yeah, if it sort of fills her up during the corruption, so it sort of spreads out and sort of. Like almost like veins running through, I suppose.
Yeah, and if she's completely low on corruption, she's just her regular bluish ice kind of deal. But if she's filled up, she's almost very, very purple, I guess. Because that is very cool too. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking more like Valkazi. Well, nee, this may be a bit too light purple, a little bit more. What's a very good color to say? Or skin color? I don't know.
What about the Void Seeker from Kaisa?
Yeah,
that's a bit darker.
Yeah, I like the color. Yep. So, ultimate. I have no idea, guys. Sorry.
What is she missing? So we have slow effect. We have another slow effect. And we have the on-hit sort of healing, sort of damaging thing. So I don't think she needs a gap closer because she has so many slow effects.
No. Well, she doesn't have hard CC, which is important for a jungler, so that's also good. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, I think the mini Frozen 2 is sort of hard CC, but it's like it doesn't last very long. It's like a 1 second or 1.5 second hard CC.
Like a Lysandra passive.
Yeah, I was thinking like a very short term.
Like the Lysandra E.
Yep.
Oh, is it it's a W?
Wait, which thing are you thinking of?
It's the thing where you stand close to people and then you press it and then it goes.
Oh, the Frost Nova.
I don't know what it's called. It's not the claw. It's not the claw.
Yeah, not
it's
the claw.
The other thing.
She's got.
Took off this year, by the way.
Hello, please. You're supposed to know this.
Yeah, it's the AOE Frost Nova thing that emanates out from her body, and then.
Yes, that one.
Sorry, I forgot what was the point of what we're trying to drive towards.
That's like that's the duration of the mini Frozen 2.
Oh
so
yeah, it's very short.
So I wouldn't say she needs a gap closer. I
Right.
think that's not necessary. So maybe the R could just be a buff.
Or damage. Like I think having straight up damage wouldn't be
Just
necessarily
straight up
too bad.
damage.
It wouldn't necessarily be horrible to have her do straight up damage at this point.
Well, I mean, we're at the ultimate. This is a lot of the time where we can kind of push the boat at most in terms of making it really weird.
But we also made it really weird with her passive.
That's true. Well, that's the thing. It's like if we don't, I kind of feel like I'd like it at least to tie into some existing part of her kit, because if it's just completely separate, that does happen with some League of Legends champions. They feel like they've got ultimates from other people's kits.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's a way we can tie in either the corruption or the death, like the being a spirit part in some way.
Well, something, it has nothing to do with her ultimate, like the ability. What something you can do is kind of like with a Trinimir. If she ults, she immediately gets full corruption.
I could go for that.
Yeah, so it's not just, I mean, if she ults, she has full corruption. I don't know where the ultimate is though. I'm really trying to think here. Does she need more crowd control, or does she need damage? I got a feeling she needs damage.
I feel that she needs damage too, but I think giving her full corruption could be really good in team fights. So
I was thinking that she needs, like, if she's gonna have a tether that pumps corruption into people, she needs to have a way to get corruption back in a hurry. So having the R cause it would seem to make sense.
that would be good.
What do you guys think? This is off what's been discussed already. What do you think about the idea of an ability that kills her?
No.
It is no, but I get the concept, but I think
I also get the concept, but no.
But no, yeah. See anyone happy on this one? No. It's
all right. I'm just pitching ideas here.
I think we could play around with something like that when we get to the Shadow Isles as a region, maybe. But not now.
Given that she's, I mean, the death passive, I think possibly doesn't actually belong on this champion, honestly.
Maybe not.
But if it did, what about the idea of it like an Omega form kind of thing, that she gets full corruption and she becomes like, she kind of like just I guess the concept is that she embraces the corruption, in that she gets full corruption that keeps refilling constantly, so that she could be tethering people, and it like makes it's like a sort of like a super mode, like
So it's like Swain when he uses his ultimate, or like Aatrox when he uses his ultimate, or like Kane when he has all his like stacks and
but I think that's
changes.
I think that's fine, right? No,
I'm not sure, because so many other champions have like this sort of Uber mode on their ults, and I'm thinking like, especially because we gave her a tether, her ult might make her look a lot like Morgana in a lot of senses.
Well, so just to tie it to the whole death thing, I was thinking, because I kind of want to try and sell the idea of this before necessarily selling mechanics, which is that she embraces the corruption, which means that her corruption meter like goes bonkers, and that it will fill up continuously, but maybe it kind of goes into a kind of like a danger zone mode where she needs to like
where it starts killing her?
Yeah, it starts killing her.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And that she needs to keep like pushing it out. Yeah, she needs to keep eating out her thing, or she will die. And maybe it ends after like 5 seconds or something.
No, I like it. Yeah,
that's good. And then like it would kind of be an ultimate that kills her in a sense.
Well, but it's like, you can, no, I get it. So you take damage over time if you have full corruption. So when you use your ultimate, you have damage over time when you have full corruption. I think that's very important. But
I think that should probably just be the case anyway.
Yes, that's like the last the stage of her corruption meter. So the first one is being slowed, the second one is grievous wounds, and the third one is damage over time.
I like the idea. Like, maybe, there's obviously a tweaking to do there so it doesn't feel oppressive. Because otherwise you start to get into areas like old Aatrox where you feel like you're being punished for playing the game.
Mhm.
But I like the idea of it, yeah, being something that you manage.
Mhm.
So if we went for the whole void thing, so it causes, like, I don't know, maybe it just causes like massive corruption, regeneration, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Advancement
Hmm.
for 5 seconds. But it probably needs to do something else as well.
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, so I almost think visually, like, so to tie in with this, it embraces the corruption. You could almost say it's like a scream. So I'm visually, I have Sylvanas in my head. So she screams and she literally shatters away the ice. So she's
Interesting.
only the corruption, only the purple. She becomes like this purple, completely purple form.
I like it.
Yeah, and so the shattering does damage, but it's
Oh,
for
I like.
5
Oh yes,
I love that. That's really
that's
good.
amazing. That's really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, that's really cool. So there we go. We get to use we do get to use Lysandra Frostnova.
Well, not exactly, because if you can, yes, it's a Lysandra Frostnova, but it's a little bit different as well, because it's the ultimate and she shatters it away, but it has a double effect, so it's not necessarily bad that the ultimate does medium damage.
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. So damage and crowd control. So yes, so she's in the. I mean, I think it would be excusable to maybe give her like in. I mean, if we're gonna go to. Sorry, I don't play a lot of Swain. Like, I understand broadly what his abilities do. Oh, nice job! That was fast. So, for a Q and W, do you think we should give them extra effects or differing effects when she's in this purple form?
I don't really think so. I honestly think her kit is fine as it is.
Don't need like extra super duper special forms for everything we do.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the reason, because we have done so many champions where, but yes, if you do this, like, it has a duality thing. And I think we kind of, at a certain point, need to step away from the duality thing, because enough is enough, you know. But I like her that it's some, and certain abilities don't need to be complicated. I'm thinking of Lilia. Lilia's Q is super basic, and her E is also super basic. Like, you throw out the ball, and her Q is she.
The entirety
around.
of set is really basic, and people still
true.
like to play that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also think it's not necessary to tweak those abilities specifically because they have nothing to do with corruption.
True. Only the E.
Yes, only the E and the R even interact with the corruption. So I would say if we keep the passive with the death side, which I think still makes sense because she can die in her ultimate, which gives her some sort of like control over this whole passive situation. I think in that form she should just be this like blue ghosty thing without any sort of corruption in her. She's just a blue spirit.
You know what we can do? And it's just an idea. I'm just putting it out there. She builds corruption up, right? She tethers to someone when she dies.
Yeah.
But she can only do that if she doesn't have she stays. Her corruption bar still fills up when she is in her tethered spirit form.
Okay.
And if it's full, she detaches and she just detaches.
Oh, she detaches automatically. So
yeah, so she detaches automatically. And the thing is that, for example, if you have low corruption, then you'll be tethered longer than if you would have a lot of corruption.
Okay.
But I like the fact that you can, without the corruption stuff in play, you'd have more strategical opportunities with the passive.
I think what might make this a little bit clearer is we haven't really clarified what her ghost form, like her attached ghost form, can do and not do.
That's true.
So I think we need to figure that out before we can really kind of narrow in too much on what would make sense for connected ideas.
I think she can still use her W. We established that.
Yeah.
But maybe being attached to someone just means that they get a buff for the duration of attachment. And then it's like adaptive damage buff. So it would be really good if you, let's say you die in like right before a team fight, or even in the team fight, when one of your teammates then steps onto your side of death, like this little, I don't know, person that died there. They stayed there for the duration of the death timers. So if one of your teammates steps on that, they then get this adaptive buff, and they can potentially still win the team fight, even though it's like a 4v5 now.
So I guess it's like the difference between like how Yumi is, because like we can go all the way from not at all like Yumi, in that it's literally just like some numbers buffs, or it's totally like Yumi and she basically just functions as if she was alive, except that she's attached to someone. So where in those two you guys feel like would make the most sense for her?
As far away from Yumi as possible.
No,
I don't need another one of those.
I think that I'm kind of happy on this one. We need to, like, I like the tether effect that where she is kind of haunting or attached to someone, but it does me. You need to step as far away from Yumi, not because I feel like I have less of an issue with Yumi than other people, but we also want to have something original.
Oh, it could also have maybe a debuff, because if it's just a good thing, then people would like your teammates would potentially get in a fight over who gets to be buffed by you when you die, or they would maybe even sacrifice you on purpose, which sometimes it can make sense, but like in solo queue I don't really think it would.
Okay. What if her passive is two things very, very quick. First of all, I really think that the abilities that damage your allies, they fit well in Dota. I think they fit less in League.
Oh no, I wouldn't want to be actively damaging allies at all.
So second of all, Stuart Mosquito. Second of all, what if she instead of she still attaches to someone, but you gotta pick her up, so she becomes this sort of thing on the ground. While she's respawn timer takes she's the thing on the ground, but you have to be picked up by an ally. So then you can kind of, because I was thinking, okay, how do you choose which ally you haunt? Is it the closest ally?
I think it could be. That'll be fairly straightforward. It would just be an ability you have when you're dead, that you can target an ally who's within a certain range, and then you attach to them.
Yes.
Okay, cool. No, I like it.
But I guess my main concern with some of the stuff we're talking about so far is I kind of feel like it has to be a somewhat rewarding experience for the player, like as opposed to just like being if it's just like a straight stats buff and things, like it means that the person can almost AFK at that point because they're not doing anything. And without bringing another kit in for them to use when they're dead, which I do agree is like it's going to be too much. Then I'm kind of want to trace and draw out from you guys something to make the experience of being dead an interesting thing rather than just kind of like a maybe too straightforward idea.
What if when she hits an ability on a champion, her attachment timer is becomes a little bit longer, but a little bit, not a lot, and so not that you can continuously attach to someone. It just becomes it extends it to a short amount. So for example, when you're in a fight, but no, I really want to be a little bit longer, like 1 or 2 seconds longer. If you do a Q, or if you hit an ability while you're attached, okay, I get like a second, like maximum a second longer.
What do you think, Happy?
I think it's nice.
Some of that is dependent on what abilities they could use when they were attached.
Yeah, like I thought, the W is the only thing that really makes sense, because if you can still mini Frozen Tomb enemies or allies. That's kind of Yumi all over again, because her Q, when you use like Yumi's Q, it slows enemies, and when you use Yumi's, what is it? Is it the E? That's the heal.
Yeah.
And like, the mini Frozen Tomb does the same thing, where if you Q an enemy, it slows them for a short amount of time, and if you Q an ally, it heals them. So I think using that in the passive form would be too much like Yumi. So
Mhm.
the W is the only thing that really.
What about if the Q could only be applied to the person you were haunting?
So you can only heal people.
Yeah, you can only sort of freeze them up temporarily and give them the heal. Or I guess it doesn't even necessarily have to be a heal. Like,
It can be like resistance, like icy armor. That's something that might fit in thematically. It's like you give a person a shield or an icy or like armor, give them more resistance for
That's
a certain
nice.
duration. Yeah.
well,
I
it
like it
seems
better
like
than heals.
okay, so let's add that onto the queue. So armor, is it just armor or I guess we should just say durability buff. Like, we don't need to necessarily get into the weeds as to what exactly it is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe same thing for like the opposite for enemies.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm thinking of making I'm looking to see how not to make this ability extremely strong. I don't know if it's a good idea yet. So what, instead of having a normal shield, having like a magic damage shield?
Like Morgana E?
Yeah, like Morgana E, but no spell immunity, because that means she's too powerful. I
Also
don't
like
yeah.
Camille's adaptive thingy.
Yeah.
That would work thematically if this whole Frostguard Citadel thing's supposed to be keeping the void at bay.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that.
Mm,
And then because she herself is kind of like a mage, it also makes sense.
actually, something you've just given me an idea. So something that hasn't. So what if you give her a neutral shield, but it becomes an adaptive shield depending on the first ability or the first thing they're damaged by?
But then
So-
it's Camille's passive.
No, that's not true. Because Camille's passive works by if you attack the person, you get an adaptive shield based on what damage they mostly did. But what if you get, for example, you get auto attacked on, then you get an auto attack shield. So then you get
Fanny.
Sorry.
I'm happy to see someone in the chat.
Oh,
Hey, Midnight.
Then you get a so if you get, for example, if physical damage gets dealt onto you, you get a physical shield. But if magic damage gets dealt onto you, you get a magic shield. Because it kind of works brilliantly. And then someone will say, yeah, but I mean, if you're a mage, you only need to auto attack her, and then she gets an ability, she gets a physical shield. But if you're auto attacking him as a mage, what the fuck are you doing? Because you couldn't easily spam an ability on the person as well. So you're already denying it in a good way.
I just because we're moving past the hour mark, I'm not sure what I kind of get into making an ability any more complicated.
Okay, true.
I mean, we definitely come back to some stuff, but one thing which maybe Moonlight can help us with, which we do need some help with, is we don't have the names for any of our abilities yet.
Oh, true.
We have a name for the R. I think that's fine.
Oh yeah, no, I just wrote that because of what people were saying.
I like that.
Alright, so so this mini Frozen Tomb thing, what would be a good name for it? And if it's frozen or glacial something, then at least it'll be authentic.
Don't.
We need more abilities with glacial in them.
No, I don't want to see something more frozen or glacial in it. I'm so sick of him. And this is like casting PTSD, where it's frozen. It's frozen whatever. It's glacial whatever. It's god. Sorry.
I think Lysandra actually has both in her kit.
Yeah,
I think it's
fucking annoying.
It's that there must be more words for cold and icy, but I've yet to. There must. Let's see. We must have thesaurus.
Yeah, I'm also in there. And one of the synonyms for icy is raw.
Bleak. A bleak or bitter or both are
Oh,
reasonable.
bitter is really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think bitter could work with the corruption stuff as well.
Yeah?
Because
okay.
it makes her a bit more bitter personality.
Yeah, I like it. So bitter something.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we can come back to that if no one has any further ideas. Nippy?
Huh?
It's a bit nippy out.
Okay, what if we call her Q just Icebox? Because that's apparently a synonym.
I mean, it's pretty bad, but sure, let's go
Pretty
with it.
bad. It's pretty bad.
That's a good working title name.
Yeah, we can change. You can come back to it later.
So the frost line, the
Okay, so something that moves, something like
it was kind of like a path, wasn't it?
yeah, like frigid path, something along those
I
lines.
can believe it. I can
Yeah,
believe it as a name. What do you think,
That
Abby?
sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay. I mean, there's so many names which are literally just like they definitely just looked up a thesaurus and like,
Yeah.
Whatever. We need to get the
It's like-
shipped.
So what you do is you just have a basic ability, what the name, like literally explain what the ability does. Let it go to Google Translate through 4 languages. Come back to English. You got the ability name, guys.
I'm just looking for path. So the kind of other ones we could call it frigid aisle, avenue, highway, a passage. That's already been used. I
actually like frigid avenue. Aisle, sorry. I don't know if
It does sound a little silly to my
Frigid
ears.
Aisle!
frigid aisle.
Have you gone down the frigid aisle, love, to pick up some ice cream?
Yeah.
I mean, all of these aren't great.
No, I mean frigid path is okay. It's like it's.
It's the most obvious one, certainly.
Mhm,
Frigid passage makes it sound like she's moving specifically.
mhm.
I mean, I can't think. There must be some other word we could use as and synonym. Let's try synonyms of road.
Oh, yeah.
Frigid boulevard. I don't know.
Frigid course. I mean,
Course is definitely closer to something acceptable.
frigid course is not that bad.
But frigid gale. And then
Okay,
it just
okay.
looks like
Oh,
Like
it shoots out as a wind blast and then leaves the ice behind?
yeah.
Sure. No, I can get behind it. Frigid gale.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like Frigid Gale to me sounds like a sort of skill shot, but it's okay.
It kinda is a skill shot though.
Mm-hmm. True.
I guess so.
What if you call her E just expunge corruption?
That's very.
That's very
Kind
on
of.
the nose.
That's very on the nose, but I mean, charge. It's also very much on the nose.
I mean, but yeah, Clyde is a very on the nose character, though.
True. Bear trip on a rope.
Let's see. There are some words which go with expunge. So, abolish, annul, eradicate, erase, extinguish.
Eradicate. I kind of like because it kind of fits into her kit.
Bitter eradication sounds like an ultimate.
Yeah, like an
Yeah.
ultimate, but it's an E.
Mm,
It's also a tether that's going to shoot out like a kind of ice tentacle at people, so it probably should have something to do with that.
mm.
Like bitter link or something.
Linked morality. How about that? That sounds like something a writer would come up with.
Bitter attachment? I don't know. It sounds like a breakup.
Sure.
Oh, bitter bond.
Yeah,
Then
I
it's-
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I like it. Bitter bond.
Alliteration. That's nice.
Yeah, I think that works. Like these
Yeah,
are
it
definitely not great ability names, but they're acceptable.
My name's Bond. Bitter Bond.
The name's Bond. Bitter pond.
Cool.
Like,
All right.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I
we
think
gotta
it's
do it.
possible.
Oh, so okay. Bitter
All right,
bond.
what's her name? What's her name?
Say my
She's
name.
not. she's not just Spirit of the Frostguard Citadel, because that's a long name.
Yes.
And her name is also not Frel Yordle.
Okay, let me look up.
She's a secret yodel.
So what Riot does, which I absolutely like, is when they it's an on-the-nose name, but it's in another language sometimes. Like brand literally means fire in Dutch. So
True.
like other stuff
It
as
also
well.
means
Like
fire in German.
San also means fire in German. So it's like other stuff that's right on the nose there. So I'm thinking of
Okay, let's start looking for Frosty. There we go. Perfect.
Frosty.
okay, Frosty.
Frigid. Hyperborean.
Frigga is the name of some
Ooh, Friga, I
Nor-
like. Yeah.
from northern.
Frigga sounds somewhat promising.
Yeah. No, I like Friga.
That sounds very Freljordian as well.
Okay. Is
could
it
take
like
that.
double I or anything like that? Or is it just
No, it's just Friga.
Yeah, I like Friga.
I don't love it, but it's decent.
That's okay. It's fair.
Okay, I can live with that.
Looking like Norwegian.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, it's just Frost in Norwegian. Okay.
Yeah, but it's also, I think it's the name. Ha. Thanks, Benid. It's Thor's mother.
There's Okay.
Alrighty, we're taking those. We could take like we could
what about
change one.
Frigard? Because that has the guard as part.
Yes,
Frigaard, yeah.
that would like literally translate to Frostguard, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Really? Oh, well, that works out pretty
I'm gonna
well.
look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. I'm. Oh, thank you, Moon Knight. I didn't know if that's. Did you see that the Moon Knight also posted the thing about Thor's mother?
What I read out.
Oh, that is where you got it from. Cool. Thank
Yeah,
you, Moon
that's
Knight.
weird.
But Frigard, does that translate to anything?
I'm gonna look it up.
It looks like the.
Frigaard. So there is actually okay. It has to, because there is a Swedish camping site, sorry, Norwegian camping site, which is named Frigaard. So it kind of fits in the theme. I think that's a good name.
I think we're on
Is it
to
double A
something.
or single A?
So written like actually write it in chat. Hold on. Frigaard.
I think we
It's
could
written like
write
this.
it with 2A. That would be cooler.
So Frigaard is there are two, and there's one in Denmark as well. So
Dog.
Okay, no, I think that's good. Like
Yeah.
the double A makes it seem more compelling.
Fantasy? Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, I like it. Damn. Okay. Do we have anything left to do, or are we just done?
I think we're done. We could do some quotes, maybe?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you want to? Okay, sorry. You want to know why the name is even better?
Why?
Apparently, it is also a last name in Scandinavia, Frigaard.
Ooh.
So
Very
it
nice.
works perfectly.
Neat.
Very
Neat.
cool. All right. Well, so I guess if that's it for us, we've managed to successfully make the best champion, and I think this is actually pretty good as a champion.
Works.
Then I guess, well, oh, that's right. Sorry, yes, we had the quotes. So why don't we each come up with a quote and try and make it as awful as you can.
Bitter bond, frozen, not frigid.
Okay, yes, that's exactly as bad as I wanted it to be.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't know things.
Okay, oh man, I feel awful even writing that. It's really bad.
I don't. I feel great. I feel great about it.
I don't know, just like everyone referring to themselves as frigid, just ugh. I don't know, it just makes you feel. Ugh.
Or just
frozen.
like as a reaction or a taunt or something, like that was not very cool of you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly as terrible as I was hoping it would be.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
it's it's rhyme time.
Okay, here we
Go.
go, because you haven't done yours yet, Peter.
No, that was mine.
Oh, okay.
It's rhyme time, huh?
Rhyme
Am I
is
missing
a
something?
synonym for freeze.
Ah, okay, it's rhyme time. Sure, I like it.
It's frost. It's another word for frost.
Oh, it's rhymed. Love it.
Oh,
It-
okay. I
It's
get
actually quite smart because rhyme and time do rhyme, so it's like,
I know, it works on multiple levels. We're
Oh,
so
multiple.
smart! Alright,
Cool.
I
Fun.
think we're done,
Yeah.
guys.
Did it.
We did a champion in time.
and hey, we didn't even take our full allocation. We're only up to 117, so good job,
Nice.
guys. We're
Good job.
efficient. So, we're going to be back 1 week from today. We started a little bit late today because of new series, Blues, but we'll be back at, let's see, so we've officially run on from 2 hours from our normal start time, so at 7 o'clock UK, 8 o'clock Central European time, we'll be back again. So rewind 2 hours in time and then travel forward 1 week, and we shall be here again with yet another fabulous champion to forge up for you guys. And thanks to Exodus and to Happy Light Sense, we have been the Champion Forge, and we hope to see you all next week.
Bye.